Simultaneity. Two spatially separated events crosses in the figure are simultaneous if they happen at the same time. That is, two spatially separated events are simultaneous to an observer if the straight line drawn through them is perpendicular to the time axis of that observer. Note that the line connecting the two events crosses is steeper than the 45-degree lines we have drawn on the diagram. Of course, observers moving at different velocities will have their time axis oriented in different directions rotated, and so what is a straight line through two spatially separated events perpendicular to one observer's time axis will not be straight line, that is perpendicular to the time axis of an observer who is moving relative to the first observer. Thus, two spatially separated events that are simultaneous for one observer are not simultaneous to any observer who is moving relative to the first observer. Another view is that a train is moving along a railway track at half the speed of light. At midnight, it passes the stationary observer on the station platform. At that very instant, two bolts of lightning strike the railway track. One strikes exactly 2 light seconds in front of the train, the other strikes exactly 2 light seconds behind the train. After 2 seconds, the flashes from the lightning strike simultaneously reach the stationary observer. In the stationary observer's view, the lightning strikes were simultaneous. However, by the time the light from the flashes has travelled along the railway line to the stationary observer, the train has moved towards the front flash and is now only 1 light second away from that front flash, but is 3 light seconds away from the rear flash. The light from the rear flash has further to travel than the light from the front flash, and so it will reach an observer on the train later than the light from the front flash. To the observer on the train, the two lightning flashes are not simultaneous. This explanation dates back to Einstein. It has been presented so often that it is miracle that there is any railway track left in Europe. If the two events are not spatio-temporally separated, then the straight line drawn through them is just a dot, and every observer will be able to draw a line to this dot that is perpendicular to their time axis. And so the two coincident events will be simultaneous for every observer. The two different crosses on the paper represent two events that are separated in space-time. They could be separated in only space, or they could be separated in only time, or they could be separated in a mixture of space and time depending upon how one rotates one's space-time axis. Simultaneity of two events is just a special orientation of the space-time axis that gives us zero amount of time between the two events.